How y'all doing today? I'm back. So let's see. Let's see. So it's September. It's a time to remember. So here's what I'm gonna do today. Got today and tomorrow. But I'm gonna let you know on October 1st what I'm gonna do for October. So for tonight and tomorrow night, or for today and tomorrow. Let's see. So the question for today is, what are some things that you want to do before you pass? You know, like what's your bucket list? What is your bucket list? What are things that you have always wanted to do, and that you still want? Obviously, you still want to do that. You would like to have done before you pass. Now, I personally have done a few. I've done a few. One of them was skydiving. Another one was zip lining. So within the span of not even 2 years, like less than 2 years, I've done both. And I do plan to do them both again. I went skydiving towards the end of 21. And then over the summer when I went to Costa Rica, I went ziplining. You know, they're both scary experiences, but they're rewarding once you finish. It takes all of your worries about what's going on other than that. Everything else that you're stressed about, it goes to the wayside. Because all you're trying to do is make it to the other side. In ziplining especially. But in skydiving, you trying to make it to the ground without splattering all over the floor. Without getting seriously hurt. So when I went skydiving, I went with a homie of mine, and we basically, what we did was, like the first time we tried to go, he couldn't go. He couldn't make it. He couldn't make it. I had work the day before, so I got that done, and then I was ready to go. But he wasn't ready to go that first time. The second time we went, it was the next week. So it was at the end of November 21. So what we did was, obviously we Ubered there. I had an Uber pick him. I had an Uber pick me up, then pick him up, and then take us there. So we went to one in Lake Elsinore. That's in Orange County. It's near Riverside. So we went there. We were preparing and everything, and then once it was time to go, they took videos of us. They took pictures. We had the experience, and then when it was time to get in the plane, we were both kind of nervous. But then they were recording us while we were in there, and we were talking to them. I was trying to talk through my nervousness, but like it was tough. You could still see me being nervous. I'm smiling, and then I'm like, once I get through with it, then I'm going to feel a lot better. You know, it's a fun experience. But I'll tell you this: those first 2-3 seconds, those feel like the longest. You know why? Because when because like it's not like you're on your own. You have the instructor, you have the professional going with you, and he pushes you out, and you go. As soon as you go out, as soon as you get as soon as your feet get off the plane, shoom, you're going down fast. You're going down fast. And we did some spins, and I'm just like, I got my feet dangling in the air. I got my feet dangling upward in the air, and I'm like, oh shoot. I'm like, oh shoot. And my stomach is just dropped. It just drops. It drops. And the whole time I'm looking down, and and I got my head down, and I'm having trouble breathing. So I'm trying to force my head to stay up so I can catch my breath. And then the dude, there's a dude that jumps out with us. There's a dude that jumps out with us and records the experience. Well, they all do that. There's a dude that goes out and jumps with us and records the experience, and he records my reaction. He records my face going, and I'm just like, oh shoot, and it makes me. And then we do a bunch of spins. We do a bunch of spins while I'm trying to just keep my eyes open and my head up so I can breathe. And then after that, we do one flip, and then he pulls the parachute, and then I'm like, I'm happy that I did it. Once you get off that plane and go, it's downhill from there. It's exhilaration. It's excitement. It's fun. It's an experience that you'd never forget once you've had it. Especially once you actually land it successfully. Then you're like, I'm ready I want to go again, because I actually wanted to go again. My friend was like, hey, we were down, we could have went again. If they would have allowed us to, we would have went again. It was that fun. It was that fun. But it's definitely something I would want to do again. It's definitely something I would want to do again. I know that for a fact. And then zip lining, I didn't really know what to expect. But my sister was telling me that if you did skydiving, zip lining should be a breeze. It should be a breeze. And it was by no means a breeze. Well, the only breeze that there really was the wind. That's it. There was no other breeze other than that. So I was nervous the whole way. They took us up the hill. It was a rocky hill, a rocky mountain, because it was in Costa Rica. So it was, you know, it was in tropical. It was in the rainforest. It was in the rainforest. So the experience was, for the first two. The first one was just like basically a practice run to get me used to what I'm going to be doing, what I'm going to be dealing with. And then the second one was good. It was going down fast. Third one, it was it wasn't like a downward slope. It was straight. Straight as a number two pencil. And that was where the worry came from. Because when when the wires are downward, it's easier for you to make it to the other side. When it's straight, anything you do, like if you do one little slip up, you're stuck in the middle of the line. You're stuck in the middle of the line, suspended in midair at a high distance. So that happened to me and my sis. Happened to both of us, but she got closer to the edge. I was stuck in the middle. And I was just like, oh, shoot. I was trying not to look down, but I was just like, cause I have a fear of heights, y'all. So I try not to look down, and that's why I do stuff like that and skydiving and stuff like that. Cause of my fear of heights, I try to overcome that. My thing is, I was stuck midair. Like I don't have a problem when it's movement, but when you're stuck, when you're standing at a spot, because when we would stand on the platforms before going down the um the wire, when we're standing on the platform, it feels unstable. Feels like it would kind of like drop you down, or you would land on your back and then fall down. Like that's the scariest part for me is just standing on the thing, and I can see how high up we are. That's the thing. And just imagine getting stuck that high in the middle of the rope, of the middle of the wire. Just imagine that. And imagine trying to pull yourself back, and then you got to wait for them to come back and get you. And then they pull you in, and you kind of you almost let go, and you kind of fall backward a little bit. Now imagine that. And it's like, and then it makes you worry about the next, because we did 10 of them. So it makes you worry about the next 7. That's the thing. The fourth one wasn't as bad. The fifth one, it was high up. It was high up. The ones that are high up, I try not to just look down. I try to look at them. I try to look up, like straight, or look up in the sky. It's a bird, it's a plane. No, it's me because I'm fly. No. But I try to look up. I try to look up in the sky. Like I see Superman up there, while they're trying to strap me into the thing. But I'm like hesitant to do it because I'm just like, oh shoot, we're that high up. Gave me goosebumps just thinking about it. And I'm like, it's crazy. The last, what was it? The last 3. The 7th one was the fastest one. The 7th one was the fastest one because that one would come in with a lot of speed. That one would be the fastest one and the longest one. So I would have to stop it at a certain point. I'd have to like pull the rope a little bit to slow it down. I'd have to slow it down myself a little bit so that I can make it there without busting my head. And then it was the 8th one. The 8th one where they had me take a picture. And so they asked us to either hang upside down and do it, or oh, hang upside down and do it, or go backwards. Guess which one I did? If you think I did upside down, whoo, you are crazy. You are crazy. You are crazy. I promise you. There's no way that you would ever see me do that high up. Hell no. Not me. No, sir. Not me. Not me. That wasn't me. I couldn't do that. I couldn't do it. So I went backwards. And they took a picture of me once I got to that point. I held the thing. I was good to go. And then once I got towards the end, so I forgot to mention there's this rubber, there's this metalish block covered in insulators and tape. So that would slow it down. That would stop the thing. It would stop the cables. It would stop the zip line. Get me to the other side. So it hits it after every cable. The ropes, the cable, after every cable, the cable actually hits the wooden block to stop it. So I didn't see it. That came first. So I went down with such fast speed and it popped me upside my head. I didn't see it. You know what? I didn't listen to directions because they told me to kind of duck my head down, and I didn't, and I felt it. It's like whoop, boop. I felt it pop me upside my head, so I had to kind of get to the other side, and I was just like, I was all dizzy and shit. But I had to, I had two more to go after that, so I was like, I went too far to stop now. A couple people stopped after the seventh one, and then they didn't get to the picture part. But once I finally did it, I felt so accomplished. I felt so good, like I did that. Just like with skydiving, I did that, and those two I'm going to do them again. And there's a couple other things that I want to do, like what I mentioned last night: travel the world. Certain places I want to go, and I want to zip line in those places. I want to skydive in those places. I want to eventually ride some roller coasters at Six Flags or ride some amusement parks in other countries. As acrophobic as I can be, I want to be able to conquer that. I want to be able to conquer that at some point. I don't want to be crippled by the fear of worrying about how high up I am. It only lasts for a few minutes. It feels like a few hours though, but it eventually ends. And you have fun in the process. But, stuff like that. That's really what I want to do. That's really how I want to be. I don't want to have any regrets. I don't want to have any fears. I don't want to have any of that. I want to be able to just live the life that I want to live without fear of judgment, without fear of I guess without fear of judgment, without fear of rejection, without fear of feeling like I can't do something. All of these things are difficult because they're hardwired in our brains that this is how it's supposed to be, even though it's not supposed to be like that. We have to rewire our brains and unlearn these things to be able to be ourselves and to be free. That's really how I see it. And it's an everyday process. You know what they say? Slow motion better than no motion. So you got to keep it moving. You got to keep it moving. That's all I got to say. So the question is, what's your bucket list? What are the things you want to do before you pass? Or that you plan to do before you pass? That is my question for today, and I hope you guys had a good one. This is a long video. If you guys like long videos, you love this one. If you like the short videos, you might have to go to the one before. The one before that. So this one might not be for you, but you can still look anyways. I appreciate the follow, and I appreciate the look. I appreciate the like, the view, So that's all I got to say for today. You guys have a good night and peace.